Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now. Let's dive into some serious NFL buzz that's been floating around lately. And no, it's not just your typical trade rumor. This one could shake up the NFC North in a big way. We're talking about a hypothetical blockbuster involving none other than Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Detroit Lions' star receiver. Imagine for a second what it would mean if such a move actually happened, especially for the Packers and the entire division. It's wild, it's bold, and it's a conversation that Packers fans should be paying close attention to because it could reshape the landscape of the NFC North for years to come. So, here's the scoop. According to reports from trusted insiders like Johnny Rossini, the Detroit Lions are considering a trade that might seem unusual at first glance. They are pondering trading Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of their most explosive and reliable weapons, to the Green Bay Packers. Now, obviously, this is a hypothetical scenario, but given how active teams are at the deadline and how much they are looking to strengthen their rosters, it's worth exploring what this could mean for both sides. The Lions, sitting at an impressive 8-4 record, are in a position where they're weighing their options. They have a roster with a lot of young talent, and after re-signing Jared Goff to an extension, they seem to be retooling for a potential deep playoff run. But sources suggest they're contemplating trading St. Brown, who's been a key part of their offense, especially in the slot. The focus seems to be on bolstering their defensive line after some injuries, while also maintaining a strong run game that's been averaging 4.1 yards per carry, which is pretty solid. Now, why would Detroit consider trading away a player like St. Brown? Well, the main reason is flexibility. The Lions are probably looking at how to optimize their roster for the postseason and beyond. They might see the potential to get a valuable second-round pick in the 2026 draft, which could help them rebuild or add more pieces for the future. Plus, with St. Brown's hamstring injury that kept him out for a game recently, they might be exploring options to ensure they're not risking further injuries down the stretch. But what about the Packers? Well, if such a trade were to happen, it would be a game-changer. Amon-Ra St. Brown, at just 27 years old, has proven himself as one of the league's premier slot receivers. This season alone, he's been a nightmare for defenses, posting a 94 grade from PFF in receiving and racking up 72 receptions for 912 yards and 8 touchdowns over 11 games. That's an average of over 82 yards per game, and he's been doing this while making plays in tight windows, often winning contested catches at an 82.9% clip. He's a guy who can stretch the field, create separation, and make big plays when it counts most. His yard-after-catch numbers are impressive too, averaging 5.1 yards per carry after the catch, and he's been a reliable target on third downs, converting at an 85% rate. That kind of consistency is rare, and it's exactly what the Packers need to elevate their passing game. With Jordan Love at quarterback, who's been steadily improving and now has a 20% increase in EPA per pass compared to previous weeks, adding a player like St. Brown would be a massive boost. His quick release, averaging just 2 milliseconds to get rid of the ball, helps extend plays and creates mismatches against defenses. And let's not forget about the chemistry he could develop with the Packers' other playmakers. Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs have been showing flashes, but a true slot threat like St. Brown would open up the field even more. His ability to find soft spots in zone coverage and beat man coverage with precision routes makes him an ideal fit for Green Bay's offensive scheme, especially as they look to push beyond their current 215 passing yards per game. If they manage to land him, projections suggest he could rack up over 300 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns in a full season, significantly raising the team's overall EPA and making the Packers' aerial attack much more explosive. Now, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. The NFL trade deadline is always full of surprises, and teams are willing to make bold moves to gain an edge. For the Lions, trading St. Brown might seem counterintuitive, but if they believe they can replace that production or if they're eyeing future assets, it could make sense. For the Packers, acquiring someone like St. Brown would be a statement move, showing they're serious about contending now and building for the future. It could also be a strategic move to keep pace with the Lions, who currently hold a slight edge in the division standings. The odds for St. Brown's trade value have been fluctuating. Initially, bookmakers had his value around plus 1,200 in terms of trade impact, but recent shifts have brought it closer to plus 750, reflecting the possibility that a deal could be on the table, especially if the Lions decide to go all in, or if the Packers see a rare opportunity to acquire a top-tier receiver. It's the kind of move that would send shockwaves through the NFC North, altering how teams play and how fans view their chances of making a deep playoff run. And speaking of playoffs, if St. Brown does end up in Green Bay, it would give the Packers a huge boost in clutch moments, especially in the slot, where he can dance past defenders and make those critical yardage gains. Imagine him lining up against Vikings, linebackers, or safeties, creating mismatches that open up the entire offense. That kind of weaponry could be the difference maker in tight games, helping Green Bay secure that playoff spot and push further into January. Now I want to take a moment to emphasize how rare opportunities like this really are. The Packers have been steadily building their team, relying on Jordan Love's development and the emergence of other playmakers, but adding a proven, dynamic slot receiver like St. Brown would be a game changer. It's the kind of move that could propel Green Bay from a good team into a true contender, especially if the defense can hold up and the run game continues to improve. Of course, we're still in the realm of speculation. The NFL trade deadline is always a whirlwind, and nothing is set until it's officially announced. But the potential of a trade involving Amon-Ra St. Brown has fans buzzing. It's a reminder that in the NFL, anything can happen, and sometimes a bold move can define a franchise's future. So, Packers fans, keep your eyes peeled. This kind of rumor might stay just that, rumor, but it also highlights how competitive and unpredictable this season is. Green Bay has the pieces in place, and with the right addition, they could be gearing up for a deep playoff run that could culminate in another Super Bowl appearance. The NFC North is fierce, but a move like this could give the Packers the edge they need to finally get over the hump and bring home that elusive championship. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Would you love to see St. Brown in green and gold? Do you think it's a smart move for the Packers or too risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. We're in this together, and the journey to another Super Bowl is far from over. Let's keep the passion alive.